Welcome.
On Safety is Everywhere YouTube channel. Dear friends, don't forget to subscribe this channel and share the link with your safety professional friends.
Today we will continue. We will discuss hazard and operability study (HAZOP), which is one of the hazard identification techniques, and it is in continuation with our previous hazard identification techniques, like we have discussed PHL and PHA. And HAZOP is a very interesting one, and you will see that you will learn a lot in terms of identifying hazards in process industries, particularly where you are dealing with continuous processes, which is characterized by several process parameters, and there is design intent, and accordingly the parameters may deviate from the intended design, and you will find out many guide words, and then a list of deviations, and then finally you will see the HAZOP matrix, but all those things will be identified, or other way I can say the HAZOP matrix will be developed using certain procedures, that is called HAZOP procedure, and we will also discuss some one example that how to conduct HAZOP. Primarily the source of this lecture material is of two books. One is the Industrial Hygiene and Chemical Safety by M.H. Fulekar 2010 IK International Private Limited, and Hazard Analysis Techniques for System Safety by A. Erickson to Clifton early 2005. So, this is what is the content of today's presentation. So, in order to understand HAZOP, you require to define some of the terms which we are saying that terms definitions, and under these few important things, one is study nodes, second one is intention, then deviation, causes, consequences. If you recall PHL or PHA, you have seen that we have discussed that the total system will be broken down into subsystem, and then subsystem will be broken down to subsystem, and finally to the component level, and then maybe at the component level or at the subsystem level or the system level you will try to find out the hazards. And the easiest way to find to go for this is start with the component level and compare with hazardous energy sources, hazardous process and events, and you will ultimately find out the hazard elements, initiating mechanisms, and target threats in terms of hazard triangle. So, that means that is the starting point. That means you have to find out that hazard for what. So, similarly in HAZOP, the issue is that given a system where you want to study the deviation, the location at which you study the deviation is known as study nodes. The location at which you study the deviation. Okay. For example, if we talk about the pressure tank system, and if we are interested to know the deviation in terms of pressure inside the tank, then the tank itself could be a study node. So, that is why, and the process parameters which will be of interest is the pressure there. Suppose if you think of the pump, then pump overrun is the deviation, and then then basically the time of running is the time is the parameters, too long, too short. So, similarly, if you think of a chemical reaction, there you may find out that there the reaction time could be of importance, and there the reactor will be the location at which you are interested to conduct Hajoop study and find out the deviations. So, that is why the location at which the process parameter are investigated for deviations. Obviously, the process parameter is important. We will come to all those nitty-gritties, but for the time being you understand, you are given a system. Now, you will not study for process deviation at each and every equipment, each and every pipeline or each and every valves, all those things, it is impossible. So, what you will do, you will choose a selective locations, and in such a way you choose so that the system process parameters all will be investigated. Okay. And usually, and then what will be the guideline? Basically, if I am talking about a chemical process where PNID, piping and instrumentation diagram is very important, you just your starting point will be the PNID. See the PNID, there will be a lot of pipelines, valves and all those things. The most vulnerable part you must take. Okay. And either the location could be a pipeline, location could be a particular valve, a equipment or anything. But selection of that location is typically a difficult work, but with a team or having a team with required process knowledge, design knowledge and hazard knowledge, it is possible to find out the minimum number of locations or study node which will help in conducting an efficient hazard study. Okay. Second one is the intention. Intention means how the plant is expected to operate in the absence of deviation. So, what is the normal operating conditions? That is the intention. For example, if I talk about the pressurized tank, then definitely there is a maximum value of pressure which is designed or minimum value of pressure which is designed, so that the gas should be filled to that amount that the pressure within the tank will be with a minimum pressure to maximum pressure, some range will be there. So, minimum to maximum. So, this is maybe you are operating normally, maybe you are operating within this range, but this is what is the designed one. So, you may consider that if it is beyond this normal one, this is a deviation. Okay. So, similarly, when you are running a machine, speed there is the range, feed there is a range, suppose the time, suppose the current flowing, the voltage, all those things they have design intent, design range for normal operating conditions, and which basically we are talking about absence of deviation. Then what is deviation? Deviation is departure from the design intention. Departure from the intention is deviation. That means your pressure should be P1 to P2, but if it is less than P1, that is also deviation, greater than P1, that is also deviation. You should run a pump suppose for T1 time, or maybe if you say it range is T1 to T2, then if you run it less than T1, that is also deviation, greater than T2, that is also deviation. Sometimes deviation can be one sided also. Okay. So, this deviation is determined in Hajoop study using process parameters and some guide words. Okay. So, what are the commonly used process parameters and what are the guide words we will be discussing next. But for the time being, you understand, you have a big system, you divide it into small system. you find out the locations where the hazard study will be conducted, you have identified the parameters applicable to that particular locations, and you have appropriate guide words like if I say my parameter is pressure, then more pressure is the deviation, more is the guide word, less pressure is deviation, less is the guide word. I will show you all those things. A substantial number of guide words will be discussed. Then if there is deviation, for example, overpressure is a deviation, then what you require to know, you require to find out what are the causes of those causing the overpressure. So, that means you have to find out the factors responsible for that deviation. So, the reasons, finding out the reasons, you have to do why analysis, why analysis, why overpressure, that means pump overrun, why pump overrun, current to pump is too long, why current to pump too long, timer fail, all those things with reference to pressure tank example we have discussed earlier. So, you have to find out. Okay. So, once a deviation has been shown to have a credible cause, it can be treated as a meaningful deviation. So, there can be many deviation, there can be many trivial deviation, there can be many significant deviation. There will be some deviations which are obvious and which can be rectified immediately, but there will be many deviations which requires intensive causal analysis, and then lot of credible causes will be identified, and finally, you will all those deviations will be treated as meaningful deviations. These causes, now causes can be equipment failure, can be human error, can be an unanticipated process stage like change of composition, external disruptions also can be the causes. Okay. So, as I told you, if you say overpressure is the deviation, then obviously immediate cause is pump overrun. Then if you dig down further, the pump overrun because that means pump is allowed to run more, means the contact is not separated, current to the pump is given more than the design time. And even if you go further, you will find out that the timer does not work, or the operator manually could not remove the switch, or other way you can discard the switch. So many things are there. So, this kind of analysis once you do, they will give you the causes. Then consequence is what? These are the result of the deviation. So, once there is a deviation, for example, overpressure, what is the consequence? If overpressure is there, then the system immediately what happen? React against overpressure. There are relief valve, there are discharge valve, there is a pressure gauge, alarm, all those things. So, under overpressure situation, relief valve should work. So, what relief valve releases certain amount of gas with reference to the pressure tank system. But if that fails, what will happen? So, ultimately you have to think that what will happen next, what. Some kind of events you have to anticipate, that is what is consequence. And finally, due to the overpressure situation, the tank rupture will take place. Okay. So, here you see release of toxic materials. Trivial consequences relative to study objectives are dropped. Trivial consequences we will not consider. Okay. So, this is what is basically the definitions, and HAZOP, if you see that it is extensively used in chemical industries. Now, what is the HAZOP procedure? I think I have explained the procedure. Now, I am repeating the same. First is divide process flow into sections. Better you find out your PNID diagram. Then in the PNID diagram, I say that you segregate the diagram in such a manner that get some small subsystem, maybe up to at the component level also. So, you divide into sections. Then for section we choose a study node. Study node can be a line, a vessel, a pump. I told you it can be a component, it can be a pipeline, it can be a subsystem as a whole also. Then you find out the design intent, means what happen? What is design intent? You know the process parameters here. So, every parameter as based on design there is some kind of range or some intention is there. It should be high, low, less, all those things. Then select a guide word and a process parameter, apply the guide word to process parameter, then find out this will give you deviation, this gives deviation. Now, once you have the deviation, for every deviation identify causes, then also for every deviation find out the consequences. Then repeat. What I can say? You have to repeat everything, but in between what happened? You will write down some action, what to do, who will do, and when it will be done. Your results will be documented. They repeat 5 to 9, repeat 4 to 10, repeat 2 to 11, repeat 1 to 12. For every new guide word 5 to 9, for every process parameter guide word then 4 to 10, for a new study node 2 to 11, for new section 1 to 12. Okay. Now, if I consider the pressure tank system, about this system. So, suppose I will consider this is my study node 1, tank is pressure pump is study node 2 and the rest is study node 3. Okay. So, that means what happened? I have considered, let it be two sections, one is the storage, another one is the pumping. So, in the storage section you have considered the tank itself a node, or maybe you as relief valve is an important one, another one may be this is 1 and another one relief valve will be 2. There is another valve that is called discharge valve. So, it may not be required to it may there is pressure gauge, there is alarm, so many things are there. So, in section 1 2 node, in section 2 maybe this is 3 and this one 4. So, what happened? Pump another node and your the circuit is another node. So, you just what happened? That means first you divide into sections, then in every section find your nodes, and then what happened for every node, what you require to do? For every node, if suppose node number 1 is my tank, node number 1 is pressure tank, what is the design intent, what is the basically that the pressure of gas which will be hold here. So, then for that select the guide word pressure, then apply guide word and guide word may be high, low like this, and in this process then if it is high pressure find out the determine the causes, if over pressure is there what will be the consequence? I said the tank rupture, and in this way you recommend what to do and record the result. Then repeat 5 to 9 new guide word, here it is more pressure, now less pressure, repeat these things. Then apply 4 to 5 new process parameter, you take another process parameter, maybe it is not only pressure, it may be your temperature or something else, repeat this. Then repeat 2 to 11 new study node, one is completed, go to 2. Okay. So, 1 is completed, go to 2. Then when 2 will be completed, go to 3, 3 will be completed, go to 4. In this way what will happen? All the study node will be considered. Now, let us see when we talk about the procedure. Now, you may be interested to know that what are the guide words, what are the process parameters, some guidelines you are looking for, that guidelines I am giving you now. So, common process parameters, flow, pressure, temperature, time, level, concentration, phase, power, volume, composition, viscosity, agitation, reaction, component. So, all may not be applicable. All may not be applicable to your study note. Some will be applicable, like I say the pressure tank is the study note, pressure is applicable. Temperature may not be applicable, do not go for this. If I go for the your that pump, maybe here flow, pressure, temperature, these may not important, time is important with reference to this pump. Okay. Maybe power is important, because there is a power, if it is high power, low power, problem will be there. Okay. Suppose if you think of a chemical reaction, suppose sulfuric acid and ammonia, then what will happen? The amount, a study node you may choose where the amount of ammonia or amount of sulfuric acid will be important, and in that case the flow may be determine the amount, then flow will be a process parameter. Okay. I will give you one example related to this. So, then what are the guide words? Guide words are, as I told you, suppose if I say pressure, if you say more, then it is more pressure. So, guide word is more. So, what is more? Quantitative increase. You may say less pressure. If you consider flow, you may say no flow, this is negation. You may say less flow, you may say more flow. So, that means no flow, less flow, more flow, these are deviation. So, what is deviation? The deviation is the combination of the process parameter flow and the guide word no. So, no flow deviation. So, here this way it is given. You see, no means negation of the design intent. Design intensity, there must be flow of the sulfuric acid to the reactor. There is no flow, no material is going. Less qualitative decrease, more high quantitative increase. Part of, first one is quantitative decrease, quantitative increase, part of qualitative decrease as well as qualitative increase. Reverse, logical opposite of the intent other than too long, too short. So, what happened, once you get some case for you, and you will find out that some of these guide words will be applicable to the process parameter. So, you combine the guide word with the process parameter, and when you combine the two, you will get the deviation. Okay. Like current to the pump too long, it is a time. So, too long basically pump overrun. Similarly, too short, pump underrun will be there, and in the as a result the pressure at the tank will be less. Okay. So, this I have already discussed. Interestingly, you are looking for some example definitely. Flow is a very important one, but at the same time very easy to understand. No flow, more flow, high flow you will get. Similarly, more pressure, low pressure, okay. But when you talk about as well as, which is qualitative increase, as well as means it is basically parameter is one phase, then as well as one phase means it is basically deviation, means you are deviating to qualitative increase, that is two phase, not in one phase. Similarly, there is another guide word other than, suppose it is in time to do the actual operation, but that time other than operation maintenance work was going on. So, then that means other than will operation lead to maintenance. So, this is the deviation. Suppose you require a particular job to use to produce something, but may be different material given to you. So, then other than that particular material. So then with this background. Now, you are in a position to develop Hajob matrix, and what is this Hajob matrix? Along the top of the matrix process parameters, down the left hand column are deviation or guide words. Some of the cells may be omitted. For example, the process keyword flow is not used when analyzing a vessel. Let us see what is this. Okay. See, these are the guide words, these are the parameters. Sorry. This is what is the parameter, flow, pressure, temperature, time. These are the guide words, maybe study node 1, pressure tank. Then what guide parameter is important? This parameter is important. What will be the guide word? High pressure. This is high or more, that is giving you the same. Similarly, too long is not applicable. Similarly, low pressure or less. Okay. Suppose if I talk about the reaction part, chemical reactor part, where sulfuric acid is coming and another side it is ammonia coming. Suppose my study node is here, this one will explain little later here. Then flow is important, no flow, high flow, something like this. Okay. So, this what is basically talking about. Hajob matrix means you just think of for every study node what will happen. You will have different parameters that is applicable and different guide words applicable. These are, if you do node specific this and finally superimpose, what you superimpose? You will basically from this node what are the guide words parameter applicable, then write down, go to the second node, write down, and then you augment this. So, you will be getting different study nodes, different deviations. So, this entire list will be Hajob matrix. Repeating the same in terms of diagram, divide the system into study node, select a node, apply all specialized guide words in turn hazards operations problem. Then what will happen? If it is not, go for next one. If it is not sure, need more information. If it is yes, record the consequence and causes and suggest remedies. What additional information you are getting here? Additional information is when you are selecting a node, then when you are trying to apply the guide words, finding out the deviation, and if you find out that these deviations are not going to have any kind of hazardous situation, then you forget about it. But if you are not sure, you collect more data. If you are sure, then you record the consequences, causes, and also the remedies you mention. So, this way a list will be hazard list will be prepared. Now, you see one example. Yes. What is the example here? Example here, this is the reactor. So, here phosphoric acid is mixed, ammonia is mixed, and then the reaction takes place, diammonium phosphate is produced. Suppose you are given this system for Hajob study. So, what you will do? This is the total system. It is a some simple system. So, you don't require to break it into subsystem, subsystem. So, it is a one section. So, now in this section you identify the study nodes. What is the study node 1, then study node 2 and study node 3. You see the study node are taken actually on the pipeline. The interesting point here is that this study node ultimately talks about the health of this acid tank, the valve, the pipelines also. This one also similarly talks about the this ammonia tank, valve and the pipeline. Also before preceding part means upstream and downstream also can be understood with these study nodes also. And another study node here which is basically after the reactor, because if these two study nodes say things are correct, then this is the next. What will happen? Here may be the problem, and this can be understood if we consider study node here. One may say, I want to say that he consider study node this tank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then pipeline here 7, valves 8, another pipeline 9, another pipeline 10, it will be many. But if you do that way also, and finally if you compare with the results having 3 study nodes, you will find out that almost all the deviations are identified here also in the 3 study nodes. That is called judiciously considering. Why pipelines are usually considered? Because they are the more vulnerable points. By saying this, I am not saying that you do not take reactor, you also take it all depends on the safety criticality. Now, it is you who will determine that how many study node will be there. You means the team, expert team having the system knowledge, design knowledge, hazard knowledge, different lessons already learned, all those things prerequisites must be there. Please do not consider that you alone an expert and you will be able to do it single handedly. HAZOP study is a team game and it is a big work, and it is not done every day, it is done at particular periodical intervals, maybe once in a year suppose, or when the new system will come or something like this. Okay. So, with reference to this, let us see what will happen, how do we go for this study node business, HAZOP business. I want to read it out because this will give you that what is happening. In this process, the phosphoric acid and ammonia are mixed, and in NP fertilizer diammonium phosphate results if the reaction of ammonia is complete. If too little phosphoric acid is added, the reaction is incomplete and excess ammonia results. If too little ammonia is available to the reactor, results in a safe but undesirable product, which is monoammonium diammonium phosphate, and there will be loss of material, there will be corrosion downstream because of this product is corrosive in nature. The HAZOP team is assigned to investigate personal hazard from the reaction, only personal hazard. You know that the target threat and target will be people, property and environment. Here it is people is the concern. Okay. So, study node 1 is here. What is happening here? Sulfuric acid is coming through this. Now, parameter is flow, guide word is no. What is the result? No flow. So, no flow. Why no flow? Valve A closes, phosphoric acid tank no supply, or there is jam in the pipe, or you can say pipe ruptures. All those things will be the causes. What is the consequence? If less sulfuric acid comes to the reactor, excess ammonia in reactor and released to work area, excess pressure relief valve rupture, ammonia with downstream products leading to death, subconsciousness, because it is a hazardous one. What is the suggested action? If you find out here is no flow, you have to control ammonia flow. Automatic closure of valve B, this valve will be closed, and so that loss of flow from phosphoric acid automatic closure of valve B on loss of flow from phosphoric acid supply. Okay. Let us see the next. No flow we have seen. Now see, here may be less flow, So that means flow is the parameter, first one is no flow, second one is less flow. Find out the causes, find out the consequences, you suggest action, again automatic closure of valve B. So if you repeat this, what is happening here? More flow. Now more flow. So why more flow here? More flow, increased flow at study node 1, and then causes flow meters gives inferior results, pump performance enhanced due to high electric voltage flow. It is not automatic, pump is used for this. So if there is more flow, excess phosphoric acid degrades product, but present less hazard at workplace. Okay. So this is the way you have to conduct, and then study node 1 flow, you are writing part of flow, concentration is less. Then what are the causes? Vendor delivers wrong material or concentration, error in charging phosphoric acid supply tank, there will be consequences, there will be suggested actions. Okay. Now what happened again, as well as means qualitative increase concentration. Why increase concentration? Find out the reasons. No, not a realistic consideration since highest available concentration used to charge supply. So that means this is not possible, forget about this. Next, other than, what is in design intention? Supply of sulfuric acid. So you are supplying other than sulfuric acid, other than phosphoric acid, I am sorry, it is phosphoric acid. Other than phosphoric acid. Now phosphoric acid, why? Other than flow means material other than phosphoric acid in line. So maybe you are using sulfuric acid, let it be like this. Then wrong delivery from vendor, wrong material chosen. So these are the causes and consequences you have to find out. Okay. So you continue this. Okay. So let me go little back again, just to you just see phosphoric acid and ammonia are mixed, keep in mind, not sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid and ammonia are mixed, and then that fertilizer is produced, and I have shown you that in each how that parameters and guide words are used and how deviations are determined, and then once deviation is significant, then what is the causes, consequences and suggested actions are identified. The team will do it. Then finally, what you will do, you once you finish node 1, go to node 2, node 3. So all the study node will be completed for a particular section, next section, like the entire system, all study node will be complete, and you will be having a exhaustive list of deviations, and then it is the documentation. Once you have all those things, you require to document. I think it will be better if we say that serial number 1, then study node, then how many deviations you are getting, then what are the causes, what are the consequences, and then what are the actions. At least this much you must be. So if I say study node 1, serial number 1, study node may be your that one, study node 1, that pipeline, then your deviation, if we say this is no flow, then you have seen the causes, you have seen the consequences, you have seen the action required. Again study node 1, that is more flow, less flow, part of flow, as well as all those things you use, and finally, for study node 1 we have discussed all those things, what are the causes, consequences and their actions. Now, then serial number, this is again 1, this is 2, 3, 4 like this. So, like this what will happen, your study node 2 will start, in this way study node 3, like study node n number of nodes will be there, and against every node there will be many deviations. For every deviation, find out the causes, consequences and actions taken, and obviously the team should work together and develop a exhaustive HAZOP list. Here, if any deviation is not possible, do not include. If you think that a deviation is trivial one, you may not include, or even if you include, you can write down under comments that it is a trivial one. Okay. Another one is that you can put under remark also, you can put if any of the actions are implemented, that will be your closed, if not implemented it is open. Okay. So, I hope that you got a brief idea about HAZOP study, and it is a really a scientific study and it is a difficult study. My sole purpose here is to tell you the process of conducting hazards analysis or hazard identification using HAZOP, and I am sure that you have understood it. Okay. So, to repeat the thing, let me tell you what you have to do. A system will be given to you, or you will be choosing. Then system will be finally broken down up to section level. A section can be a simple equipment, or it can be a combination of equipment, or you may not require to go to this level. The system given is so small that it is one section. Now, in this particular every section you find out a couple of study nodes. Then for every study node, find out the applicable process parameters. Then for once you take one parameter, find out how many guide words are applicable. For example, in case of flow we have shown 5 guide words, it can be more guide words can be also. So, using this guide word to the process parameter, find out the deviation, an exhaustive list of deviation will be found out, exhaustive list of deviation. So, similarly, then go for the second study node, go for the third study node, find out the list of deviations. Then go for section 2 like this. So, that means there will be maybe your big n number of study nodes. So, on an average maybe for every study node there will be different different deviations. So, there will be capital M number of total deviation, where M is definitely more than n. Okay. So, this is what is our and final one is the documentation. You document the process. Documentation I told you, study node, then every study node guide words, deviations, then causes, consequences, action, status, all those things. So, thank you very much, and I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture also, and be sure that you will apply this. Unless you apply to a real life situation or a case, if you will not develop, you will not learn this. Thanks a lot.